Hey guys, this is James.
And this is Denny from TDB, bringing you guys episode 123, 123.
Yep. So today we have the Clover Patch Oolong from White2Tea's. It's not on the site yet, which means we're filming in the future, because I'm pretty sure it's on the site now. But it has a very strong fragrance, looks lightly roasted. It's a wooey tea, and I have not tried this, and you have not tried this.
We're going to go just full ham on this.
Hell yeah.
So, that's dry leaf.
Yeah.
This is full ham.
Wow. So this obviously very fluffy leaves. This is a 60 or 70 milliliter gaiwan, depending on how much water you put in. And that's 5 grams a leaf. So it's like actually my normal pu'er parameters for this gaiwan.
Just
but
fluffy.
It just looks a hell of a lot more intimidating than pu'er. Ooh,
Smells
I can smell that.
incredible. This is already looking, just from the dry leaves, it has a nice lightly roasted tinge, but it looks like it's going to actually brew out pretty green. And you can just see by the color of the leaves. It's got a nice combination of green and brown.
Yeah.
So this will just be the rinse.
And I believe this was harvested this year, although I don't know for certain. So, I mean, you would expect that the stuff that has undergone more heavy roasted to be a little bit nasty right now. Oh.
It smells really good.
Yeah, seriously. I can really smell that aroma all the way from here.
Yeah, let's see. So I'm going to do basically a flash brew.
Probably smart.
Just see how we taste and make a decision from there. I've become a serious fan of the high pour.
Oh, yeah? Just being able to drink faster?
Especially in the summertime. We haven't even had tea yet and I'm already hot. Alright, let's do it. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
One of the most striking pieces or parts of White2Tea's for me is that the aroma and
Wow. How green.
yeah, the aroma is so sweet, and these teas have a very real rock mineral, not sweet sweetness, rock sweetness, rock taste, and I love it.
Yeah, and it's definitely quickly apparent in this tea. Definitely a rock oolong.
Much more so than the Phoenix that we had a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, kind of a big contrast.
Yeah, but they look very similar. I mean, they're both green and
Twisted. And
yep, smell great. And yeah, look at that! Wow,
yeah.
that is just crazy green. So when is this? Do you know, James, when this is coming out? Soon?
Soon, probably. It'll probably have been out for a while by the time we release this episode, but yeah.
We're time travelers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. So it's changing.
It definitely changes.
Probably more minerals, kind of a dry fruit sort of taste to it.
Yeah.
Like dry apricot and something like that.
Yeah, a little more sweet, more body. It's got a bit of that puckering mouthfeel.
So, good reason to keep infusion short.
Definitely.
At least like you've been doing. And this tea is definitely like of the lightly roasted kind. So if you are like one of those people that really like Yancha or rock oolongs that likes to have like the more heavily roasted teas, this is definitely not that.
Yep.
But it is very tasty and very aromatic.
Absolutely. Whew. So you're not going to have as much charcoal. You're not going to have as much just like burnt taste. A bit more mellow flavors, more fresh flavors on this.
Do you consider a wooey tea that's a little bit greener in nature, like this one, to be warming still for you?
God, I'm so warm right now. It's hard to say. Man, I think interestingly enough, the warming, cooling thing seems to be a tea by tea thing for me more than a category.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can definitely make generalizations off of that, but I'd say, so if you forced my hand and I had to answer, I'd probably say that this is. I'd say that probably wooey in general for me is pretty warming.
I'd say for me too. Even like the lightly roasted or oxidized stuff.
Yeah.
Like I can feel sort of like sweat around my neck, and it's just hot in general right now where we are. So
yeah. It's starting to get really good.
Has a really nice sweetness. For me, this would be a very casual tea. I don't think this tea needs to have like super concentrated focused brewing. You should definitely not overbrew it, for sure. But it's not like, oh my god, every infusion is totally different and I need to take notes on this tea.
Right.
It has a really pleasant profile, and I think it'll probably continue to have a really nice profile for a few more infusions.
Yeah, I think this will go through quite a number of infusions. Maybe not as much as something a little bit more darkly roasted, but it probably wouldn't get started quite as quickly either. I mean, we're really getting into the body of the tea right now. This is the fifth infusion, fourth steeping. Getting a really nice.
This is still more or less flash steeps too.
Definitely.
So
yeah, I have yet to actually increase the time on the steep. So, but yeah, this is really nice. Really beautiful golden color. Really tasty, really sweet. I agree with you. I think this probably doesn't. This isn't going to evolve. This isn't going to surprise you. It's going to be what it is. But I think what it is really tasty. This would be a good intro tea to someone who's probably been drinking tea a little bit and wants to expand their palate into some different flavors, but still wants to refrain from the intensity that is raw pu'er.
Yeah. Would you pick a tea like this or like a ripe pu'er for a coffee drinker that you're trying to convert?
That's a really good question. What do you guys think? Tell us below. I'll say this. If you love the viscosity of coffee in the morning and that mouthfeel, ripe pu'er is hard to beat. Just no matter what, it's just going to be, I mean, not no matter what, but it's going to be that viscousness. But if you do like those sort of more roasted flavors, then yeah, I think a wooey would be great. And frankly, I think even a darker wooey would be a little more akin to coffee.
Yeah, because the roast here, I mean, you can taste the roast, but it's like balanced with a lot of other things.
Yeah, yeah, it has a nice greenness to it still.
Oh yeah, for sure, and you just need to look at the leaves to see. In fact, looking at this, it kind of looks like it's a couple different types of leaves. Some are a little bit greener than others.
Definitely.
So might be a blend of sort. But
really nice leaf quality too.
Yeah, lots of whole leaves.
Right on. Yeah, I'd say this is one of the more pleasant, accessible, and probably a little bit more forgiving wooeys that I've tasted. I know that some of the wooey that I've brewed, I have just not been attentive to, and it has been gross. So, for folks out there, if you are going to brew and maybe you are, it's more of a utilitarian tea session where you just want some tea, does it pick me up? Maybe use a little bit less leaf if you're not going to pay attention to it, or if you're going to use Scott's method, use a little less leaf.
Yeah, or do it with ripe pu'er or something. Yeah, Scott's method is not recommended for beginners. We'll put it that way.
God, and you know, the thing about these teas too, I'll say, and oolongs especially, is just the fragrance is incredible, and particularly with wooey teas, for whatever reason, the fragrance and somewhat with the Phoenix too, really I find to be somewhat dissimilar to the taste. Where there's kind of this like I get kind of a sweet cinnamon.
It's more floral right now.
Yeah, a little bit more floral.
It also changes like throughout the session too.
Yeah.
So like more the aroma. I think is a really good point. The aroma has been more dynamic than the actual taste, which has actually been relatively constant.
Pretty consistent.
Like I guess this is our 5th infusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Okay, so it's starting to sort of like fall back onto those very like wooeys tend to just brew out this way a lot of the time to sort of like this floral, some of those minerals, Yeah, it just tends to brew out this way, and I feel like it's heading towards that direction. So
Yeah.
I guess maybe a couple more infusions, and then probably have to extend it quite a bit.
Yeah,
So,
add some hotter water.
yeah.
But one thing that I'm really enjoying is that the mouthfeel is getting a little bit thinner, but at the same time a little bit more light in a good way. Not quite as much of that like pucker.
Yeah.
And the pucker is very small, but yeah, really enjoying this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You guys can find out more about tea by hitting the subscribe button. Also, go check out the Clover Patch Oolong and White2Tea's. No idea what this sells for, but I will say that this was an enjoyable session.
Absolutely.
So check that out over at White2Te.com. That's the number 2. And check out tdb.org. Check us out on all the social media areas. We are pros, and thank you guys for watching.
Cheers.